I told you when you applied for a personal loan with the credit unions and you was denied, it had nothing to do with your personal credit. Now, what if I told you actually somebody snitched on you? Now, I know some of you are like, what do you mean somebody snitched on me? Well, there's a company out there that's actually snitching on people to get them, to keep them from being approved, all right? And let me tell you who that company is. That company is called the work number. Now, most people are not even aware of this, right? And so what the work number does, it's owned by Equifax, and it collects all of your data. Now, I know some of y'all like, well, if it's owned by Equifax, then what does that have to do with Experian and TransUnion? Trust me, a lot of credit unions still use this number, okay, regardless of the credit bureau they pull from, all right? Now, what they're going to do is tell them the exact company you work for, how long you've been there, how much income you was making, right? So they use that past data in order to determine if they're going to qualify you or not. Now, that being said, you also have early warning systems, okay? Could stop you just from even getting an account with the credit unions, right? And then you have check systems, okay? So you have check systems, all right? And then here's one more hidden system that nobody knows about. This here would definitely screw you. And I'm going to tell you why. With this here system here, all right, they're just like your third-party credit bureaus and stuff. However, like anything that's updated through AI and stuff like that, they're automatically pulling it in, okay? So if you have an authorized user, right, added on to your account and stuff like that, they're going to replace your original address with that authorized user's address. So then when you go to get, attempt to go get funding or a loan or something like that, they actually will deny you because there's a mix-up in the address, all right? So that's the reason why I'm telling you this. Now, there's one other thing that could potentially stop you, all right? And that's your DTI. Now, with most credit unions, again, it's all going to factor in on this relationship. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. But if this DTI usually is over that 60%, then more likely they're not going to give you the chance, all right? So I'm just putting that out there. I'm going to give you a couple credit unions I suggest that you want to look at, and you'll be surprised at who's not on the list, all right? So that being said, let's talk about the relationship. This is one of the most important things when it comes to credit unions, right? The relationship. So in terms of the relationship, it's all about how many accounts, okay? How long you been with us, basically, right? So most people, they'll try to go right in because they want these high limits. I keep telling you, don't go right in. Build a relationship. That's the reason I tell you, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, okay? The longer the term, the easier it is for you to get the higher approvals. Now, not saying that this is in stone. However, if you want them to overlook the personal credit score, then the longer the relationship will benefit you more, all right? Now, that's the first one. Let's talk about accounts. This is something that's most valuable that a lot of people do not pick up on, and it always screws them, okay? So you want to have a direct deposit. You want to have, and I'm going to come back to this in a minute, right? So then you want to have your checking account, savings account, your money market, CD, okay? Now, you don't have to have all these, but I would suggest you having at least 4, okay? Now, you have authorized users. Yes, authorized users. A lot of people don't think this factors in, but if you have somebody that has a good relationship with a credit union, having that authorized user on there definitely can help, all right? So then you have your business account, all right? So I would tell you at least that Oh, I forgot this here, especially when you have a low credit score. So you have your secured loan and your secured credit card, all right? So you definitely want to have at least 4 of these here accounts, right? You want to have at least 4 of these accounts. Again, it's only to help you. You're building a relationship of trust because you want high limit credit cards. And like I said, I'm going to start telling you some of these credit unions, but you have to understand the relationship, because if you have this relationship, you're almost at a guaranteed approval, okay? This is overlooking the credit score. This is, you don't have all of this in place, so they're more likely are going to be favored toward giving you that approval, all right? So that's the reason why I'm telling you this. Now, let's talk about deposits. So with the deposits, going back to the direct deposits, there's 3 ways that you can do a deposit, all right? So one is with your W-2. So if you have a job, you know, and if you have your deposit, say you got a deposit in Bank of America, then you can have a portion of your job, have your job to send over a portion of your deposit over to a credit union. Okay, so you can split up your deposits. All right. Now the other 2, they're non-traditional. Okay. And so that's with like a marginal loan. If you're in the stock market, you have a stock portfolio and stuff like that, you can have a portion of your income deposited over to your checking account, your direct deposit checking account, okay, from your margin account. All right. Then if you have a business account, okay, so if you have your business structured the proper way, then you can set yourself to where you can have a portion of your business income going into your direct deposit, okay? So you can have that. That's the reason I say if you need to structure a business properly, we actually help you do that, okay? And it's just to position you so that you have access to more capital, all right? So that's the reason why we continue to stress that. But a lot of people leave money on the table because they don't have a properly structured business and they miss out on opportunities of funding, and it has nothing to do with the personal credit. All right. This setup, I'm telling you, is a guaranteed strategy. All right. Now, talking about payments. Now, here's the thing about it with payments. All right. Most people, when they're paying like their loans and stuff like that, they'll do once. Okay. So you'll do one time a month, right? However, if you're able to, you want to do at least bi-weekly, okay? Now, the reason why is because it's actually showing them that you have enough disposable income to where you're able to pay a loan back faster. Now, that being said, here's something I would tell you. Instead of going after that loan and choosing the right credit union, that's the biggest factor that most people don't know. Choosing the right credit union. And here's how you know that you have the right credit union. The right credit union, especially on the personal side, all right? So they're going to offer 0% credit cards, right? They're going to offer lines of credit, and then they're going to offer the loans, all right? So you're able to get multiple products. Now, why you want a credit union that offers 0% interest on credit cards is because you can take advantage of that and pay no interest, then follow up with a loan or a line of credit, okay? And so that's the reason why I always tell you guys, look for credit unions that will allow you to leverage, all right? And so those credit unions that will allow you to leverage, you have BCU. Okay, this is Baxter Credit Union, all right? And so with Baxter Credit Union, they use TransUnion Vantage 3, okay? They use TransUnion Vantage 3, all right? And they offer these here products, 0% credit cards, lines of credit, and loans, okay? And that's what you want to make sure, that they actually offer all 3 of those products, okay? Then you have Adelphi, okay, Christian. Okay, now here's the thing about it. This is Christian Credit Union, Christian Community Credit Union. Now, again, they offer all three products. However, where this here, they're using TransUnion, they're going to use check systems. Okay, so if you're in check